Om Ajnanatirmirandasya Jnananjanam Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Gurave Gaurachandraya Radhikaye Stadalaye Krishnaya Krishna Bhaktaya Tad Bhaktaya Namo Namaha. Narayanam Gurum Vande Sharanyam Bhakta Bandhavam Gauramanovistam Purnam Radha Dasyam Pradayakam Nirupandugacharya Varyam Burupamanjari Preshtakam Patita Pavana Bandhavam Yugacharya Narayanam Vanchakalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya Evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Namo Mahavadanyaya Krishna Prema Pradayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namne Gaura Tuise Namaha Shama Sundara Shikanda Shekara Ismerahasar Murali Manohara Radhikara Sika Mam Kripanide Swapriya Charana Kinkarin Kuru Tapta Kanchana Gourangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Brishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vrindai Tulasi Devi Ai Priyai Keshava Sacha Krishna Bhakti Prade Devi Satyavatyai Namo Namaha Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhar Sri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ramo 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 Hare Hare. So first of all, I begin offering my most humble obeisances to the dust of the lotus feet of Paramadatam Sri Guru Pada Padma Nityalila Pravishta Om Vishnu Pada Paramahamsa Parivrajacharya Astotara Sata Srimad Srila Bhakti Vedanta Narayana Goswami Maharaj Srila Gurudev, and also to my most beloved Shikshan Sannyasa Guru Nityalila Pravishta Om Vishnu Pada Paramahamsa Parivrajacharya Astotara Sata Srimad Srila Bhakti Vijnana Bharati Goswami Maharaj, and to all Shri Rupano Gauriya Guru Varga, to all Tridandi Sannyasis, Brahmacharis, Vaishnavas, Vaishnavis, and to all the assembled devotees here today, my most respectful obeisances. So by the causeless mercy of Srila Gurudeva and all Mahabhagavatas Acharyas, we are able to assemble here one more time. So we continue reading from Sri Gopi-gita. Today we start with the verse number 2. Sharadu dasaye sadhu jata sat sarasi jodara shri mushadrisha suratanatate sulkadasika varadanignato neha king vada. Translation. O Krishna, master of amorous pleasure, O bestower of benedictions, we are your unpaid maidservants. You are killing us by the glance of your eyes, that still even the proud beauty of the world, of supremely enchanting, high-born lotuses that blossom exquisitely in the ponds during the autumn season, is killing by a glance not considered murder in this world? So in this verse, gopis, they are glorifying Krishna, glorifying his sidelong glances. And he's saying that Krishna's sidelong glances are killing them. And Krishna's, the glance of Krishna's eyes is able even to still the proud of the beauty of the very beautiful lotus which blossoms in the autumn season in the ponds. And the gopis, they ask at the end if killing by glances are actually to be considered murder in this world or not. So let's go for Srila Gurudev's Commentary Bhava Prakashika Vritti. In the previous verse, the gopis told Shri Krishna, "We have been searching for you, unable to bear the pain of separation from you and burning the fire of amorous desires." He responded by asking, "What unhappiness or calamity have I caused you?" Now, in this verse, the gopis say, "You are not merely making us unhappy, you are killing us. Weapons are not the only means by which one kills. There are other means as well." The word drisha refers to Krishna's glance. The gopis say, "With the glances of your lotus eyes, you are killing us." Krishna may ask, "How am I killing you?" The gopis reply, "You are killing us simply by your being Suratanat." The immaculate loving pastime of the hero, Nayaka, and the heroine, Naika, in their solitary meeting is called Surat. So Su means special. Rat means intermingling with great attachment. The intermingling of the transcendental Nayaka and the Naika is so complete and so extraordinarily that they truly become one. And the difference between them becomes indiscernible. There is a description of Surat in Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita that issued from the lotus mouth of Srimati Radhika herself. This is Chaitanya Charitamrita, Madhya Lila 8.194. Pahilehi raga nayana bhange vela, anudinna badhala avadina gela, na so ramana na ham ramani, dunhu mana manobhava pishala jani. Alas, before we met, there was an initial attachment between us, brought about by an exchange of glances. In this way, attachment evolved. That attachment has gradually grown, and there is no limit to it. Now, that attachment has become a natural sequence between ourselves. It is not that it is due to Krishna, the enjoyer, nor it is due to me, for I am the enjoyed. It is not like that. This attachment was made possible by mutual meeting. So here Radhika, she's clearly stating that it's not anyone's fault or anyone's merit, in the sense that actually they both together, their meeting was actually the cause. So you must be attentive for this word, Surat, okay, and Suratanat, these two words combined. It's very important for the whole Gopi-gita. And Srila Gurudev is going to analyze it more and give so many beautiful meanings about that. This mutual exchange of attraction is known as Manobhav, or Cupid Krishna's mind and my mind have merged together. Now, during this time of separation, it is very difficult to explain these loving affairs. My dear friend, though Krishna might have forgotten all these things, you can understand and bring this message to him. But during our first meeting, there was no messenger between us, nor did I request anyone to see him. Indeed, Cupid's 5 arrows were our via media. Now, during this separation, that attraction has increased to another ecstatic state. My dear friend, please act as a messenger on my behalf, because if one is in love with a beautiful person, this is the consequence. So here Radhika is describing how she became completely attached to Krishna, and that in the very beginning, their first meeting was arranged by the Cupid itself. But afterwards, she has to manage how to meet him again. And now she is sending a messenger, a girlfriend of her, to tell Krishna that they should meet again. And then she is saying at the end, oh, this is what happened when someone becomes attached to a very beautiful person. Means You always want to see that person, you always want to be with that person. Shri Krishna is Rasik Shekhar, he who is unsurpassed in relishing transcendental amorous ras. And Sri Radhika is Mahabhava Swarupini, the very embodiment of Mahabhav, or the highest development of pure transcendental emotion. This verse refers to the meeting of Rasik Shekhar Shri Krishna and Mahabhava Swarupini Sri Radhika, in which they unite to become one in every respect, heart, body, and soul. Their uniting in this way is called Sambhoga Lila. So here Srila Gurudeva, he makes a footnote with the meaning of Sambhoga Lila, and he says, the book Ujjvala Nilmani describes Sambhoga as follows. The lover and beloved's sole purpose in meeting and embracing each other is to become filled with indescribable bliss. The escalation of this bliss is known as Sambhoga. In common language, this is called meeting, Sambhoga. So the gopis say, with your eyes, you create the inspiration within us for Surat, and then you meet with us. So Surat means these amorous pastimes, amorous meeting between Radha and Krishna, and Krishna and gopis as well. Nath means Lord. So the general understanding of Surat Nath is the Lord of Surat. But Nath also means to beg. When explained in connection with the word Suratanath, the word Drisha becomes Drisheva Suratanath. He who begs means not for amorous union, Surat, with his glance, Drisha. So now Gurudeva gives a very beautiful example of the meaning Suratanath. He associates with the word Drisha, which means Krishna's glance. And then the meaning has changed. Suratanatha now means not more the Lord of amorous pastimes, but the one who is begging through his eyes for that amorous pastime. So Krishna is glancing to the gopis, and his glance is actually instigating or transferring to the heart of the gopis that desire of meeting. And then the gopis, they will reciprocate with Krishna, manifesting that desire and moving towards him to make that meeting possible. Okay, this is the whole theme of this verse here. And Gurudeva, he's going to develop it more and explain. I'm just organizing in your mind so that you can situate yourself better here. Okay. So then when the gopis use this term to address Krishna, they mean, with your sidelong glances, you begged us for Surat. And by doing so, you transmitted that same desire for Surat to our hearts, and we became mad. In that state, we were deprived of any ability to discriminate between right and wrong, good and bad. We were ready to give you whatever you begged from us. Srila Vishwanatha Chakravarti Thakur describes this pristine Surata Lila in Surata Katamrita and also in Sri Sankalpa Kalpadrum, 2 books of him, which begins with the following 2 verses. And Srila Gurudev is quoting here the first 2 verses in Sankalpa Kalpadrum. First one is Vrindavaneshwari Vayo Gunna Rupa Lila Sobhagya Keli Karuna Jaladera Dehi Dasi Bhavani Sukhayani Sada Sakantam Tam Alivi Paribritam Idam Eva Yache. It means, O goddess of Vrindavan, Sri Radha, O ocean of all youthfulness, virtue, beauty, pleasure pastimes, good fortune, romantic love, and compassion. Please hear me, for there is something I want to tell you. I wish to become your dasi, to serve you and to make you joyful when you are with your beloved Shri Krishna and surrounded by your Sakis and Manjaris. I beg this of you. And the second verse says, Shringarayani bhavatim adisharayani viksheva kantavadanam parivrityayantim drittavan chalena harisanidin anayani samprapya tarjanna sudam rishita bhavani. In the second verse, Srila Vishwanatha Chakravarti Thakur describes the meeting of Srimati Radhika and Shri Krishna. Although Radhika went to the forest only to meet with Krishna, as soon as she saw him, she immediately turned around and began to return home. With a longing to serve her, Srila Vishwanatha Chakravarti Thakur prays, I will clasp your garments and forcibly draw you to Krishna, the ocean of Surat, and he will compel you to engage in your beautiful Surat Leela. So here is interesting to note one thing, is that in so many instances, when Radhika is going to meet with Krishna, she just changes her mind suddenly and she turns away and she wants to go away. And otherwise, when they meet together, they start quarreling so much that they cannot even enjoy each other's presence for amorous pastimes. They are quarreling, and Krishna touches her and she becomes even more angry because he touched her without her permission. Especially if you read Lalita Madhava book, then it describes so many types of pastimes like that. I assume that I feel like quite anxious, about these exchanges between them, because it does not come to the proper conclusion, as we wish. And they argue so much that even I want to give up reading. I become very much, in anxiety, for them, because they want that meeting, but at the same time, they keep putting obstacles to each other. And that becomes like very much, a type of like torture, for us to read. But anyway, this is very beautiful also. So the next one. Nata means both master and beggar. This is a very, very important thing to understand. And it is also has a third meaning, namely giver of great calamities and distress. So Krishna had communicated with his glance. What he's saying? I can fulfill your desire for Surat, and I also want Surat from you. And the gopis now say, you ignited our desire for this special meeting, and we became maddened by that. Then, amidst our Surat Leela, you suddenly disappeared. An example can be given of the disappointment of a hungry man feels when, just as he's about to take a meal, a monkey comes and snatches his plate away. Similarly, the gopis say that, bereft of their wisdom and sense of judgment, they were prepared to take part in Surat, which Krishna had begged from them with his sidelong glances. Then, just at the moment, he disappeared. So, gopis, they were very eager for that meeting, and they had to cross so many barriers, in their homes, in their morality and many things like that. And suddenly, when they felt, okay, we are with Krishna, and now we are going to, be able to serve him and to enjoy pastimes with him, then he disappears. So they were like about to, take the best part of the cake, and suddenly that big monkey, he took away, and the gopis, they became so much restless due to that. So the gopis conclude that the fault does not lie with Krishna himself, but with his beautiful eyes. From where had his eyes obtained their beauty? The gopis express their realization of this with the words Sharadu Dashaye. Srila Vishwanatha Chakrabarti Thakur has explained that in their own way. The gopis compare Krishna's eyes with the beautiful petals of the lotus flower. Sharat means the autumn season, the season in which this pastime took place. Ud means water, and Ashaya means reservoir of water, such as a pond, a lake, a river, or ocean. So then you can see again how this, in which Rasa Lila that took place in Sharadiya Purnima, this Kartik time. During Sharat, the best season, the water in the lakes is clean and pure. The word sadhu in this verse means pure, sacred, and possessing all kinds of virtue. If a man has taken birth in a good family, a family of sadhus, we can generally conclude that a son or a daughter born to him will also have a pious nature. The gopis tell Krishna, the beautiful lotus growing in the vast pond is fragrant, soft, and sweet. In the autumn season, the water is pure, and therefore the lotus growing in that water is also pure. The petals on that lotus and the pollen on the lotus on the petals are also completely pure. Every part of that lotus has manifested with purity, and as a result of purity. Without this purity, the lotus in all of its features would also be without beauty. Srila Vishwanatha Chakravarti Thakur and Srila Jiva Goswami both explain that in comparing Krishna's eyes with lotus petals, the gopis say, your eyes possess the wealth of beauty that they stole from the petals of the lotus. But your eyes have an extra magic that make them unique, which is that they can steal the qualities of something just by looking at it. So here gopis are saying that Krishna's eyes is not only beautiful, but is capable of taking the beauty of anything he's looking at. So, where we left. So every part of that lotus has manifested, but your eyes have an extra magic that make them unique, which is that they can steal the qualities of something they just by looking at it. You simply glanced at the lotus, and in doing so, you took away its loveliness. In this way, you left the lotus reduced in magnificence, while the beauty of your eyes increased. Then, after you stole the qualities of the lotus, you cast your glance at us, and in doing so, you stole the contents of our hearts. You are such an expert thief that you can steal the beauty of the petals of a lotus, even of one that grows far from the water's edge, where it is dangerous to venture and where it is surrounded by other lotus. In fact, which of your possessions have you not stolen? You stole the beauty of a new rain cloud and the dance of the peacock. From this, we can easily understand that you are an expert thief. It is not easy to steal our hearts because we are always protected by our relatives, our parents, brothers, husbands, sisters-in-law, mothers and fathers-in-law, and also by our shyness, patience, and chastity. Yet, you went straight in our hearts without any consideration and you captured us. Actually, it was not you who entered our hearts. It was your eyes. It follows then that your eyes can easily steal the beauty of the lotus flower. Still, the qualities we see in your eyes now are not those which we saw before. This is another difference between your eyes and the lotus. The lotus always looks the same, but when we look into your eyes, we see that they contain newer and newer allurements at every moment. In this way, through your eyes, you begged us for something. We became maddened, and ever new waves from the ocean of transcendental prema then arose in our hearts. Simply because of the way you glanced at us and expressed your desire for Surat, we became your unpaid maidservants, means Ashulka Dasika. You accomplished this by glancing at us from the corner of just one of your lotus eyes. Then, just one of your eyes can so expertly express your intention that would have happened. So, what would have happened if you looked at us with two eyes? So that's so beautiful. Actually, all the power coming from Krishna's sidelong glances are actually coming from one eye, because when you look aside, only one eye is visible to that person you are looking at, right? So now the gopis are saying, if you can do this type of damage with one eye, what would happen if you have, glanced us with both of your eyes at the same time? That would be completely devastating. So in this way, the gopis, they are Krishna's what? Ashulka Dasika, unpaid maidservants, means like a slave. They can do whatever Krishna wants, whatever, they are just there for him. They are ready to do anything. Why do we say we are unpaid maidservants? First of all, have you ever given us anything for our services? Never. Second, have our parents given us to you in marriage? No. Moreover, although we were never willing to marry you, our parents still could have given us to you in charity, thinking it would have been best for us. But they never did this. Third, even if we had wanted to marry you, but were not given to you by our fathers and mothers, we could have had a Gandharva style marriage, whereby we would have simply exchanged gardens with you. But you have also not performed the Gandharva marriage with us. You have paid us nothing and give us nothing. We know that Krishna actually, he performed this Gandharva Vivaha with Srimati Radhika, but not with all the gopis, right? So only Radhika, she had this, privilege, right? And they also have played, with Krishna and Lalita, a type of fake marriage as well. But the real type of marriage, in the sense, only happened between Krishna and Srimati Radhika, right? So we have become your unpaid maidservants because your eyes begged for our hearts. You have not begged, but your eyes begged again and again, and we fell silent. What was the meaning of the Gopi's silence? It signified their acceptance of his proposal. So here comes the main point. The Gopis, they have not say yes, either no. But because of their silence, it means yes. And because of that, they became entangled because they had no other option. And later, they even blame Krishna for everything. And Krishna, he would just say, you came because you wanted. I have nothing to do with that. This is your own desire, your own fault. What can I do for you? So the texts on literary theory called Alankara Shastra state that the moods of prema or kama first arise in the heroine, Naika, and then in the hero. This is very significant, even to understand our mundane lives. How interaction between man and woman happen, now it will be explained very nicely here. So it says clearly that first the desire appear in the naika, in the heroine, and then that desire will appear in the hero. Hmm? Yet the heroine does not approach the hero to express her feelings. Rather, the hero approaches the heroine and then she responds. It means man should approach woman. This is like it's been happening since, long time. Nowadays, modern women, they want to change these things. They want to take the role of man and they want to, put everything upside down. But you can see how it happens from Krishna himself, uh, and things goes naturally in this way, right? And then after the heroine, then she will accept, and then she will um, uh, means accept the proposal of the hero. In this case, however, the situation is reversed. Krishna is not making any advances. Instead, he is silent and has disappeared from the gopis' midst, as if rejecting this special meeting. It is the gopis who are repeatedly appealing to him without shyness. But this is after, no? This is not the beginning. It happens after Krishna left them, but not in the very beginning. Now the gopis are saying, you begged us for this and we came to you. But then when we began to dance with you and engage in our sweet pastimes, you left us. Now we are begging you to again perform those pastimes with us, even though we should not beg anything from you at all. We have disregarded all religious regulations and have forsaken all our family connections, duties, shyness, chastity, patience, and everything else for you. And now in separation from you, we are dying. So here we can see that although there is a rule in Alankara Shastra that the Nayaka he should approach, he should come physically close to the Nayika. But Krishna, he's the supreme enjoyer. And even he can change this rule and he can make all the Nayikas come to him. But actually, he made the first approach, but not physically. When he played his flute, he called the gopis. That was a type of approach. So he called them. But physically, the gopis, they had to come. And that's like a breaking of the rule. So Krishna, he wants to break this rule. No, I'm not going to them. They should come to me. I am the supreme enjoyer. So I will make them come to me. So it's like a mix of the both type of behaviors, right? So we have disregarded all religious regulations and have forsaken all of our family connections, duties, shyness, chastity, patience, and everything else for you. And now in separation from you, we are dying. We want only that you come and see us. Without beholding us, your eyes cannot be successful. In our extreme sorrow, we are not begging that Surata Lila from you for our own sake, but for yours. Okay, so that defines the nature of prema. It means prema always want to give, always want to serve, not to enjoy. So gopis are not willing to call Krishna back in front of them for their enjoyment, but for Krishna's enjoyment. So this is a very, type of audacious statement of the gopis when they say, because it sounds like arrogant. If we apply that to a common person, like a mundane person, because a mundane person may have a very distorted view of the reality and may think that someone needs needs him, or needs her. And then he will behave in such a way that he will try to bring that person close to him, thinking that person needs him to be happy, but it may be completely like a misunderstanding. But the gopis, they have no place for misunderstanding, for arrogance, and for any type of illusion caused by ego or caused by Maya itself. So therefore, when the gopis, they make such type of statement, it's because they know 100% sure that Krishna loves them more than anyone, and only them can make Krishna happy. Therefore, they can like put themselves in such type of position, which can sound like arrogance, but actually this is the reality. Like this is like the raw reality, and completely uh, true. And the gopis, they are bold to say that. They're very bold to say these things. They have no fear that they may be misunderstanding or mistaking Krishna's desire. They're 100% sure about Krishna's desire. And that's what makes gopis very confident in serving Krishna and pleasing him. Therefore, they tell him that it's not for our sake that we are calling you back. This is for your own sake. Because if your eyes don't see us, your eyes cannot become completely, uh, pleased, satisfied, and perfected. So now continuing. First of all, from the corner of your eyes, you beseeched us for the precious gift of Surat. And in doing so, you also created a wish for Surat in our hearts. But now you have taken away our wealth, our most precious treasure. We had been keeping it in our hearts and protecting it very carefully, but then you stole our hearts and went away. We request you to come and cast just one glance upon us. And when you do, we pray that you will return to us all the valuable treasures you stole. The word nignato in this verse means you are killing us. The gopis say, if you do not return our cherished treasure, we will die. It is sinful to kill a man, and it's even more sinful to kill a woman. We gopis are far dearer to you than a wife is to a husband. So if you kill us, you will be performing a most heinous act. Furthermore, you will be responsible for killing not just one gopi, but millions of us. We want to protect you from the suffering that will come from this sinful act. So please come back and return the wealth of Surat that you stole from us. Some of this explanation is from Srila Vishwanatha Chakravarti Thakur's commentary. There are also points that he has not explained. And in those cases, I have taken the explanation from Srila Jiva Goswami's commentary and also from my heart, Srila Gurudev says. This subject will be precious to qualified persons, not to everyone. So very beautifully, Srila Gurudev, he ends this commentary saying that many things he took from his heart. And we are very fortunate to now come in contact with Srila Gurudev's heart. And it's interesting to see that this type of reading that we are doing here, this is special for a few reasons. First reason is that in the mat, we do like this every day. We read books like thoroughly, every day. There is no like random harikatha. There is no like, only if special titis are there. But day by day in the mat, there is a book that we read completely from beginning to end. So, and the second thing is that when Srila Gurudeva is speaking Harikatha, we can see so many, of course, of his bhavas there, of many things, of his realizations there. But in the book, we have a chance to get it in a very more like polished way, because Srila Gurudev carefully, he sculptured, all these sentences, and he made everything so nice and so beautiful, you know, that we can really, have like the full, what to say, the full impression of what he wants to say. Sometimes in live kathas, there are so many distractions here and there, you know, and even audiences, also different. So he can't speak many things. So when we say that Gurudev's katha is most, important and very high, we are actually talking about the katha in his books, not only the live katha. So if we don't dive deeply in his books, we are missing so much, so much. Therefore, we must do like this reading, sentence upon sentence, and reflect upon them and digest them, and after we have a few days to think about what we heard, and make our own type of um, understanding of that in according to our capacity, our qualification. But it is so priceless, to access Gurudev's um, Harikatha in this way. Hmm. So reading Gurudev's books, it is everything for us. We should never stop reading Gurudev's books, never. And we find so many amazing things that he would never speak directly, things which are not recorded, and you can't find recorded. Mm. So reading is actually very important. I know it takes more time. It requires focus, attention. You can only do one thing. You can only do that. While if you are listening to a audio recording, you can also do some other things. It's easier to understand. Also, language is easier. But when come in the written form, we have more elaborated sentences because they wrote that in Hindi very, very nicely, with a lot of scholarship and many things like that. But it's like, like an ocean of things. We just read like now one commentary of one verse. So how many things we have, come across. So in this way, we're gonna stop here, and